Baby Steps is the kind of game that makes walking feel like a boss fight, insults the concept of elegance, and still somehow ends up being one of 2025's most lovable disasters, in the best way possible. Imagine a physics puzzler where each trigger is a leg, balance is a prayer, and progress is measured in centimeters and swear words. Welcome to Baby Steps, a deliberately awkward trek up a mountain that's equal parts comedy special and spiritual trial. Nate's life is a beige loading screen, a 30-something basement gremlin nested on a sunken couch, marinating in reruns, cold pizza, and the kind of sweatpants that have seen things, when the universe hard crashes his nap with a hard cut to nowhere. One blink he's mid-scroll, the next he's knee-deep in a foggy wilderness wearing a stained onesie, staring at a mountain that didn't ask for him, and a pair of legs that clearly didn't get the tutorial. No exposition, no helpful pop-up, just the cosmic prank that starts with, "Okay, champ, walk," and a long, humiliating journey where every inch forward feels like a character arc. The genius and the joke are the same. Each trigger lifts a foot, pressure sensitivity sets step height, and shifting weight changes traction. Lift one leg and the other presses harder, saving or sabotaging balance depending on terrain and timing. There's no waypoint, fast travel, or map, just smoke from camps and the occasional merciful checkpoint, so every misstep means redoing a stretch and relearning humility the scenic way. Early on, walking on flat ground feels like tightrope waltzing and roller skates, and uneven terrain is a slapstick highlight reel waiting to happen. Face, meet rock, repeatedly. But the alchemy happens when the backwards controls stop being a bit and become muscle memory, revealing depth and step height, foot placement and rhythm that turns clumsy shuffles into deliberate technical ascents. Each leg of the climb brings new gimmicks and new ways to humiliate gravity. Sandy deserts that shift underfoot, mines with splintered beams demanding precision, frozen lakes that teach intentional movement, and even set-piece oddities like riding a water turbine. The open structure nudges exploration with little story morsels and goofy vignettes off the beaten path, which often reward risky routes with extra laughs or lore. Is it pretty? Absolutely not. Lo-fi textures, identical trees, and pop-in are common, but the trash-chic aesthetic fits the unhinged vibe and the gross charm of Nate's mud-collecting onesie, which stains dynamically as the journey gets filthier. It's the rare game where visual jank feels like wardrobe, not a bug. Ugliness has costume design, and it works for the comedy. The writing leans hard into improv energy, meandering, lewd, and unexpectedly sweet, with a small cast voicing multiple characters who swing from cringe to compelling on a dime. Jim, the would-be mentor turned bitter heckler, steals scenes by being aggressively unhelpful, and the whole crew made for multiple out-loud laughs within the first hour alone. Nate begins as a deeply unlikable couch barnacle, but the longer the trek, the more the mask slips to reveal an isolated, depressed guy whose tiny victories feel monumental. And by the end, it's weirdly easy to root for him. The arc mirrors the mechanics, awkward, frustrating, then quietly triumphant until left foot, right foot somehow becomes character development. Make no mistake, this is hard, sometimes infuriating, and occasionally stupid on purpose, but the feedback loop of conquest is real. Once the cadence clicks, conquering a nasty slope feels like beating a raid boss with your toes. Expect frequent wipeouts even late in the run, which keeps tension alive and turns every checkpoint into a confetti moment. Plan on a meaty hike, expect high teens to about 20 hours to credits if persistence outweighs pride, with detours adding more time and more bits to discover. The game resists hand-holding by design, so progress is a calm slog punctuated by slapstick, which is exactly the point. Baby Steps launched September 23, 2025 on PS5 and PC, with performance that's generally stable but visuals that pop in like they RSVP'd late to the joke. Again, thematically on brand, if not technically impressive. It even delayed into this window to avoid the Silksong blast radius, which is its own kind of wise footwork from Devolver. If getting over it weaponized frustration with a hammer, Baby Steps weaponizes humility with quads, inheriting that taste for precise humiliation wrapped in earnest design. The difference is scope and storytelling. This world is broader, funnier, and far more character-driven than a Steel Cauldron Odyssey. Critics are split in a way that reads like affection through gritted teeth, infuriating, frustrating, and stupid, yet somehow awesome, with some outlets calling it one of the year's favorites. It's a rare game that gets away with being both the joke and the punchline because the execution is so intentionally tuned. Players who love hard-won mastery and can laugh at pratfalls on the way up will eat this like trail mix. Folks allergic to awkward controls, repetition, or lo-fi visuals should hike elsewhere because the game won't compromise its bit for comfort. The art can be actively unpleasant, pop-in breaks immersion, and the no-map, no-fast travel philosophy can turn a bad fall into a vibe killer when time is tight. Some story beats meander by design. If the improv tone doesn't land, scenes can feel indulgent rather than endearing. Baby Steps is a stubbornly singular, triumphantly dumb-smart physics trek where mastering the world's most basic human action becomes a personal epic, and it absolutely nails what it sets out to do. If laughter through pain sounds like a good weekend, lace up, well, pull up the onesie, and take the most meaningful walk in games this year.